Crazy. It's almost like investing over 40% of your cap space into 4 players isn't a great idea, because if one of those players gets hurt, like Joe Burrow has, it can easily derail your team's season. Not only that, but 2 out of those 4 players are ones that heavily rely on Joe Burrow being healthy. So now getting about half the value from your top 2 receivers you usually would, you're basically getting the value of 2 players for the price of over 40% of your cap space. If you couldn't tell, I don't love the way the Bengals have built their team here. So today, we are gonna be rebuilding this Bengals team that really has no one to blame other than themselves for their struggles this season. Sure, it's unlucky Joe Burrow got hurt, but I mean, kinda predictable behind this offensive line. So throughout this rebuild, we are gonna see if we can hopefully do a better job than the Bengals have of building this team. We're gonna see if we can get them back on track, and we are gonna see if we can even get this Bengals team a Super Bowl win by the end of this, their first ever. But alright, I'm gonna keep this intro short because I'm very excited to get into this. I've only done like 3 Bengals rebuilds ever on the channel, so if you enjoy the video, leave a like. It really helps the channel, and if we can get to 1,500 likes, that should be a doable goal. It'll let me know y'all want to see another realistic rebuild of one of the worst teams in the NFL next week. I mean, I'll probably do it anyway, but you know, it helps the channel. I would appreciate it. Oh yeah, and the reason we're doing the Bengals is because on the last rebuild I did, they were the most commented team. So let me know in the comments what team you want me to rebuild next week, and I'll count up all the comments, count up all the votes. And very last thing, massive thank you for 85,000 subscribers. Finally hit it. Less than 15K away from 100K. That's insane. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. If you like Madden rebuilds, that's literally all I do. Feel free to share the channel with anyone you think might like it if you want. But alright, enough plugging. Let's finally get into this rebuild. And I guess I'm just gonna start Joe Flacco for the rest of the year. Joe Burrow's apparently done for the year-ish. Like, apparently the earliest he can return is week 16, but that's like earliest. Most likely if he does return, it's gonna be for the playoffs, which we're probably not gonna make it 2 and 4. So I think I'll just leave him out for the whole season. But alright, let's just get this year over with. Knowing Madden, I wouldn't be that surprised if we make the playoffs, so we'll see. Okay, we finish 3-14. We won 1 more game on the year. Against the Jets, I guess that's fitting, but we lost every single other game for the rest of the year, including getting beat 37-7 by the Browns. Fun. We actually managed to finish below the Browns. They finished 4-13, not much better, but they were better. But hey, on the bright side, we will have at least a top 3 pick, I would assume. Maybe even the number 1 pick. We do have the number 1 overall pick. Joe Flacco got sacked 75 times. That's valid for the Bengals. Oh yeah, not great. 44 sacks allowed from our tackles alone. Obviously, as the Bengals, we have, you know, probably the best offensive playbook in Madden. We had the best passing game in the league with Joe Flacco, but our defensive playbook was 32nd, or our defense. But, I mean, the playbook's really the only thing that matters, so our defensive playbook was 32nd. So we might have to change that at some point soon. But this is going to be a very interesting first off season, because we have to re-sign one of the players that are taking up 40% of the Bengals cap space. That is Trey Hendrickson. I know I said it's not good to spend 40% of your cap on 4 players, but if we don't re-sign Trey Hendrickson, we don't really have a defense here. There's also Dax Hill, Geno Stone, neither of them are interested. Cam Taylor-Britt, who got superstar dev, might have to try to re-sign him. We'll have the 5th year for Miles Murphy, probably not going to pick that up. Jake Browning, probably not going to bring him back, although I can't really fault him too much for being bad. Everyone's been saying he's the worst quarterback in the league. I want to see Sam Howell behind that offensive line is all I'm going to say. But all right, I don't know that the Bengals will re-sign Trey Hendrickson. It's, you know, kind of hard to know, kind of impossible until it either happens or doesn't happen. But I do want him back out of fear of what our defense would be like without him. I'll go 2 years, 75. That's fine. I'm not going to do the same thing the Bengals do in real life, which is refuse to pay their good players until they're twice as expensive. So we're not going to tag him. We'll just try to bring him back 2 years, 75. 25. He does take it. Again, don't know that he will be back for them, but I want him back. Dax Hill, he's only 25. I also want him back. He's not crazy expensive. That's a long deal, though. 6 years, 96. He doesn't take it, but Cam Taylor-Britt hasn't been amazing in real life, but with Superstar Dev, I'll go 5 years, 55. He does take it. Cool. And then everyone else, I don't really care. I mean, Mitchell Tinsley, he's good, but I don't think he's really going to develop for us in this rebuild, at least. But all right, probably not going to be the busiest free agent class ever. At least I don't think so. Now, with how bad our offensive line has been, this might not be a great idea, but Orlando Brown Jr. allowed 23 sacks, and it would save 16 mil to release him. Pretty easy decision. Cody Ford, too, that saves 2 mil. Samaje Perine, he's solid, but he's a 30-year-old running back. That'll save 2 mil, sure. Now, in free agency, Orlando Brown Jr. is the best tackle available, but, I mean, is he really allowing 23 sacks? I don't know. Maybe we'll sign Jalen Moore on a 1 year just so we have someone there. Or sure, we'll go player friendly 1 year 11. That's fine. Odafe Oweh's here. That's interesting. I guess steal from a division rival. I mean, not directly from a division rival anymore, but was a division rival like 5 months ago at this point in this rebuild. Does have 5 offers though, so we'll see. Okay, maybe not. Never mind. But all right, here's what we're gonna try to do in free agency. We're gonna try to, patch the 3 holes we now have. At least 3 of the holes. We'll go for Brian Cook, Martin Emerson Jr., who I get mixed up with in my mind with Cam Taylor-Britt, so I'm sure that'll be fun. Don't know why I get them mixed up, but I do. And then, of course, Jalen Moore. So I don't know if we'll get all 3 of these guys, maybe just these 2, but I mean, there isn't really a lot for us here. I guess we could go for a running back, but I guess maybe Najee Harris, but he's already 28, and then the rest of these guys don't play well in Madden. So I'm good. But these 3 players, we do get Brian Cook. Ooh, I don't know if we're gonna get Martin Emerson. We don't. All right, well, we kind of need a corner. We have too many other positions of need. I was gonna go for Dax Hill, but he had 2 other big offers and he's not interested at all, so I figured he wouldn't sign if he already rejected us once. How about Kyrie Elam? Sure, he has star dev for some reason. Whatever. We're that desperate. Okay, we do get those 2 players. I don't love this free agent class, but I don't know that there was really much else we could do. And hey, I'm feeling a lot better about the team with Joe Burrow back in, obviously. Jalen Moore, why you got so much positive morale? Do you know what team you just signed with? I'd be losing that real quick if I were you. But all right, of course, in the draft, we pick at number 1. This is kind of an interesting spot for us, because a lot of the top projected players we don't necessarily need. We obviously need O-line and I guess linebacker and secondary and running back. I'm thinking about Ruben Bain, but this team did just take Shamar Stewart last year, who, by the way, I'm pretty sure is Josiah Stewart, the picture. Obviously a Rams player in a Rams jersey here. Don't know how they messed that one up, but sure. Not even the same name. I mean, same last name, but whatever. I still think I might go with Ruben Bain. Probably the best player in the class, in my opinion. There is also Caleb Downs. I don't know if I could justify taking a safety at number 1, though. That just wouldn't feel good. Especially when, I mean, we did just sign Brian Cook. We have solid safeties. All right, we're gonna do it. We're not gonna trade down because I don't necessarily know who would want to trade up. It's not like there would be a team that would be necessarily moving up for a QB in what so far doesn't look like a great QB class. So I'll just go with the best player available, in my opinion, Ruben Bain out of Miami. This is going to be the first ever rebuild I've done with him. So number 1, oh, number 2 in the class. Why is he number 2 in the class? What? Who do I have ranked higher than him? What? I'll spoil it. I have him at an 80 overall. I have Caleb Downs at a 79. He's number 2. Who's number 1? I'm so confused. I don't have anyone ranked higher. I don't know, whatever. In round 2, we are obviously gonna go O-line here, no matter what. Let's see, I don't want to do back-to-back rebuilds with Jaden Roberts, which, by the way, I'll start getting more real linemen soon. I have some positions pretty good, like QB. Running back is solid. Receivers pretty solid. Still need to get a lot of defensive players and linemen in here, though. But let's go with Caden Green. Technically a little bit of a reach, but only 21 years old, 2nd to 3rd round talent. We'll take that. Rank 64. Got him at 33. Okay, not amazing, but I mean, like pretty much every player in my draft class, he has hidden dev. And I might even go with another lineman. I might even go Logan Jones. Not supposed to go until like 193, but I mean, he's an Iowa lineman. You shouldn't really scout the helmet, but with like Iowa linemen, Iowa tight ends, it's a fairly safe bet. Ranked 32, got him at 65, almost the exact opposite of our last pick. We'll take it. Hopefully we don't allow 75 sacks again this year. That would be nice. But all right, here's how we did in the draft. Like I was saying, lower overalls for my draft classes for the most part, but like everyone has star dev. I've explained this before, but like I do that because I feel like it makes different players develop well in every rebuild I do, so it's not like the same 5 players becoming good every time. Because if everyone's a low-ish overall, sometimes they'll be starters over other players and sometimes they won't. Just depends. But anyway, we did well here. I'm still confused about why Ruben Bain was number 2. Why was he number 2? I don't know, but whatever. Looks like the Browns went with Caleb Downs at number 2. Who was the first QB off the board? I'm curious. It was Fernando Mendoza at 19 to the Giants. Okay. But yeah, we had a good draft. We also got Austin Romaine at linebacker. He's pretty solid. And then the CPU picked Joshua Braun at guard. I think I just forgot to move him up. He is actually a real player, unlike some of the players in this draft class still. I guess not too many, but some. But all right, let's get into year 2. And let's, like I just said, let's hope we don't allow 75 sacks this year. Please. It should be better, I hope. But all right, here is a look at the team heading into year 2. We're at an 82. I would like to think we've made the team a little better already, trying to get some offensive linemen. I mean, there weren't that many available in free agency, so we just mostly had to settle for drafting as many as we could. And I mean, I like how our defense looks. Our pass rush should be very good. I don't know that I can say the same for the rest of this defense, but I mean, you know, Cam Taylor-Britt got superstar dev, Logan Wilson got superstar dev, even though he hasn't been great this year in real life. Oh yeah, also, I'm gonna start Taj Brooks because Chase Brown did really bad last year. I mean, we hardly run the ball anyway, so I don't know if it matters, but we'll see. We'll see how Brooks does. But all right, let's get into the year. Let's get to the midseason point. I don't think we're gonna be great with still a pretty horrible offensive line, but we'll see. At least we have Joe Burrow back. Okay, at the midseason, we're 3-4. We are doing a little better than last year, definitely. We're coming off 2 wins too. I don't know if that's a good thing, because that means we were 1-4 at one point, but at least we're improving, I guess. All right, we still have the 30th defense in the league, though. I'm already thinking this Bengals defensive playbook isn't great. Joe Burrow doing much better than Joe Flacco was, thankfully, but Joe Flacco wasn't bad. And let's see, the O-line, Dylan Fairchild hasn't allowed a single sack from left guard. That's nice. Jalen Moore could be doing a little better, but could be worse. We could try Joshua Braun there, who I made 6'6", 220 before I realized how to actually change player weights in Madden. I don't remember what his weight was, but I'll guess like 315 if he's 6'6". I don't know. No, I mean, his last name's Braun. He's got to be like 340 or something. But I guess we can try him at left tackle. I don't know. I don't even know if he's going to be a good NFL player, but we'll see if we can make him one here. But all right, for re-signings this year, we have Jordan Battle, who isn't interested, DJ Turner, who isn't interested, Chase Brown, who I'm not really interested in. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to bring anyone here back. I'm going to be honest. Like maybe one of the 2 DBs, but let's try player friendly first. We'll go 4 years, 35 for Battle. He doesn't take it. Shocker. And DJ Turner's really cheap. We'll go very player friendly, 4 years, 36. He does take it. Okay, good. But all right, let's hope our defense can improve in the second half of the year. I have my doubts, but you never know. And you know what? Our O-line has actually been solid enough other than the tackles, so I'm not even going to set interior O-line as the focus position. Surely I won't regret that. Okay, we end up going 7-10 in year 2, having the best offense in the league, but the 29th defense for scoring. I already changed the defensive playbook, so don't worry about that. Should be better next year, I would hope. I mean, to be fair, our defensive roster isn't too great, but I don't know if it should be 29th with this kind of pass rush. But Joe Burrow, 5,000 yards, 41 touchdowns to only 4 picks, and we went 7-10. He might win MVP. But Taj Brooks was better than Chase Brown was last year, so I guess that's something. Jamar Chase, almost 1,800 yards, 16 touchdowns. touchdowns, but Jermaine Burton, 1,100 yards. Almost 1,000 for T. Higgins. I kind of wish they were flipped, but whatever. Let's see, Amarius Mims wasn't great, but, I mean, we allowed over 20 less sacks than last year, 52. We'll take that with the Bengals playbook. Let's see, Austin Romaine led the team in tackles with 173. 13 TFLs for Bain led the team. 10 sacks for Hendrickson, 8.5 for BJ Hill, 6 for Bain. Not great, but at least he got tackles for loss. 4.5 for Stewart. We used him as an interior rusher. And picks, 2 for Cam Taylor-Bright and Kyer Elam, and then 1 for 4 different players. Definitely glad we have a new defensive playbook. But Joe Burrow does win MVP in a year where we go 7-10. Also, Justin Fields up here, Michael Penix, Shadur Sanders, But Jamar Chase wins AFC Offensive Player of the Year, Burrow at 2. Obviously, no Bengals for Defensive Player of the Year. Unfortunately, a division rival wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, Elijah Surratt for the Steelers. But Austin Romaine does take Defensive Rookie of the Year, so he'll get Superstar Dev, probably a lot of XP. Ruben Bain at 2. I'm really surprised we got top 2 for that, but we'll definitely take it. But all right, once again, just another off season, no playoffs, unfortunately. I feel like this roster's maybe good enough to be a playoff team, though. Like, we're 5 overall higher than the Panthers, 4 overall better than the Titans. Like, yeah, we have one of the higher overall teams in the league. Like, tied for top 5, it looks like. All right, again, definitely glad we have a new defensive playbook for like the millionth time. Russell Wilson went back to the Steelers. All right. Wait, is that the second Packers-Jags Super Bowl in a row? Hold on. No, it was Packers-Chiefs last year. Never mind. I was gonna say. But all right, for re-signings, I guess we'll let Jordan Battle go. I feel like we can get another safety who's actually interested. No picks this year. Did have 2 last year and 7 pass deflections. That's pretty good for a safety in Madden. I said 13 total the last 2 years. How much is very player-friendly? I don't really want to pay him that much. I'll go player-friendly, 4 years, 55. He doesn't take it, that's fine. Amarius Mims, I guess we'll pick up the 5th year. Chase Brown will let go. He's a 27-year-old running back. That's old for a running back. Jalen Moore will let go. We benched him halfway through the year. I forgot to mention that. Or did I? Maybe I did. I don't know. Joe Flacco will let go. He didn't retire at 42? Brother, you're a 64 overall. It's time. It's time. Please. Wait, please tell me. Did I remember to turn... Okay, I did turn prospect storylines back on. Okay, we don't have the top 5 talent glitch, thankfully. That's the one thing I don't like about using real-life draft classes. If you use them, you have to remember the next year to turn prospect storylines back on before the season starts, or else it'll show everybody as a top 5 talent by the time you get to the draft. It's annoying. But anyway, there's some pretty good free agents this year. I'm thinking Rashee Rice and Tank Dell pay all of our cap space to receivers. Who says no? Also, why is Ricky Pearsall here? Did he get cut? Shouldn't he have another year on his deal? I don't know. But I'm thinking Brian Branch, obviously. If not, maybe Jordan Battle, but I don't know. Brian Branch has 15 offers. I don't know if we can really compete. Oh, definitely not. I mean, that does free Jordan Battle up to have no offers. I wouldn't mind. He's played pretty well. It looks like Kyer Elam got Superstar Dev. That's definitely what I expected when we signed him. He got 12 pass deflections. I always say this, but that's like getting 24 in real life. Pass deflection numbers in Madden are really low for corners. Also, Austin Romaine obviously got Superstar Dev for Defensive Rookie of the Year, but I don't know what other position to address here in free agency. I would go corner, but obviously we have 2 superstars there, and there isn't really anyone I want. Linebacker, we're good. Edge, we're really good. I'll just draft a lineman. I never like signing them because they always play like garbage. I guess Michael Mayer to be our future starting tight end, maybe, because Mike Gesicki's getting up there. I don't know. I want to do something in free agency. So Jordan Battle and Michael Mayer, we'll see if they sign. They do. Okay. Not bad. Probably not season changing, but better than nothing. But all right, in the draft, we pick at number 10. The Chargers have the number 1 pick. Don't know about that one. I don't know if I saw any top 5 talents. I focus scouted 3 linemen. I would guess one of them is probably a top 5 talent. Yeah, Stephen Columbus. I don't know if we're going to get him, though, because we pick at 10. He's supposed to go at 15. He's probably going to go early. I also focus scouted Roman. I thought he would be like a 1st to 2nd, but he's 2nd to 3rd, so whatever. Honestly, Tony Edmond could be really good, too. Solid solid strength, though. I kind of wish I focus scouted him instead of the center. I don't know if he would be a top 5 talent, but he could be. I don't know. Let's just get to number 10. Obviously not going to trade up because there are a lot of good linemen. All right, I mean, that makes the decision pretty easy. Columbus is still here. Elite strength, 43 bench reps. Our O-line did better last year, but, like, we don't really need any of these players that are supposed to go early. We don't need a receiver, don't need... I mean, I don't like taking tackles. They're never... usually not as good as the guards. Obviously don't need a QB, don't need an edge rusher. So we'll go with Steven Columbus. Ranked number 4, we'll take that. Got him at 10. I thought he would be like 2 because he does have 43 bench reps, but we'll take it either way. But all right, round 2, we'll probably just go with the best player we have focus scouted. Maybe a safety, even though that's really not a need. We do need a defensive tackle. We could go Stevenson or Sheard in round 3 or something. I don't know, maybe even 4. But for now, we'll just go Jace Reisner. Not amazing, but he's the best player we have scouted, so sure. He's only 5'9". Ranked 33, got him at 42. Hidden dev, we'll take it. Don't know what we're gonna do with him, but maybe he'll start eventually. All right, in round 3, I guess we'll go Jimmy Roman. Hard to go, I was gonna say, that's not what he looked like. Hard to go wrong with O-line depth, especially with this team. Rank 56, that's fine. Hidden dev, I'm more than happy with it. But all right, here's how we did in the draft. I kind of see we might have made a little mistake with our guard pick. I was saying Tony Edmond looked pretty good. I just didn't want to risk it. I guess I'm fine with it though. Edmond is 2 years older, and I just wanted to take the guaranteed top 5 talent, so it's whatever. But yeah, Edmond's an 82. I never know with pass blocking linemen if they're actually going to be good, because pass blocking ratings can be anything from like 79 to 87 or something, or even higher. So maybe I should have taken him, but oh well. I love this game. I always forget you can't click on players in the draft anymore and close out or it'll crash your game. That's fun. Okay, Jace Reisner, 74 overall. We got a couple 73s. We took Sheard. He's pretty good. He was ranked like 49 or something. That might be the last first to second round talent. I think 50 might be second to third. I don't know. And then we got a couple decent players. And the CPU picked a horrible pass rusher. That's fun. But overall, pretty good draft. Not the strongest draft class other than Edmond. A 77 was a top 5 talent, but we did well. But all right, here's a look at the team heading into year 3. We're up to an 85 overall. I guess that's what we were at the end of last year, but we should develop a lot throughout the year. I'm hoping the O-line plays at least as well as it did last year. I'm a little bit worried, but we'll see. Just the big thing is, hopefully the defense can do a little better finally. Oh yeah, and we're also going to start Reisner as a rookie because Brian Cook didn't really do a lot last year. He's already 27 with normal dev. He's really not going to develop much more, so we'll just swing for upside with Reisner. The secondary has a lot of potential with him, 2 superstars. We'll probably need to add like a true number 1 corner soon, but I mean, for now, it just is what it is. But I mean, this pass rush should be amazing this year, I would hope, with, 2 first-round picks and a sack leader on the D-line. I would hope so. But all right, let's get into the year. We'll get to the mid-season point, and let's hope we can have a winning record for the first time, please. Man, we are still 2-4 at the mid-season. We still have the 30th defense in the league. Why? I'm trying the Bucs defensive playbook. I guess I should, probably switch it to a 3-4, but I don't know if that really matters. I'm trying to remember. I feel like I found a good defensive playbook, but I forgot, so my fault. We'll see how our defense ends up doing this year, though. But for re-signings, Trey Hendrickson. I almost wonder if we should trade him. I don't know. We're so close to being good, and I don't know if he would be worth a lot at 32 at this point. Maybe like a third. What's he ranked for edge rushers? Number 3 for right? Probably a third. I'd rather just keep him and try to bounce back this year. Logan Wilson will probably let go. Trey Hendrickson, I would go player friendly, 1 year 36. He does take it. Another 1-year extension for him. BJ Hill, we'll see. Might bring him back, but we just gotta hope things get better this year. That's really all we can do. This has been really, really tough. I figured this would be a hard one. Bad roster that's spending a lot of cap space, usually not easy, but this has been really hard. Okay, I was starting to get worried there, but thankfully in year number 3, we end up going 10-7, and we finally make the playoffs. Still a horrible defense, 28th for points per game allowed, but 3rd best offense. Again, crazy to to have the third best offense and barely make the playoffs, but whatever. 5,300 yards for Burrow, 43 touchdowns to 8 picks. Only sacked a couple more times than last year. Taj Brooks wasn't great, but at least got 12 rushing touchdowns. 1,500 yards for Jamar Chase and 23 touchdowns. Probably going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year again, but 1,400 yards for Higgins, 1,200 for Burton. Joshua Braun at left tackle wasn't great, but he's better than Orlando Brown Jr. did that first year, so we'll take it. And let's see, Logan Wilson led the team in tackles. Ruben Bain, 17 TFLs led the team. 12.5 sacks for Bain, 11.5 for Hendrickson, 6 for Hill, but only 4 picks on the year, 2 for Reisner, and then 1 for Elam and Taylor Britt. Not great. But Joe Burrow wins back-to-back MVPs. Jamar Chase wins back-to-back Offensive Player of the Years. Ruben Bain, number 3 for Defensive Player of the Year. Trey Hendrickson, 7. And then Reisner at 3 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Wish he could have won it, but I didn't necessarily expect him to. But all right, finally in the playoffs. By the way, I changed the defensive playbook again because we were 28th. I switched to the Vikings because they were one of the best defenses in the league this year. Don't know if that's a good one, but we'll find out. But we're up to an 86 overall. Where does that rank? Okay, the Packers are an 87. The Lions are an 88. Same with the Eagles and the Chiefs. So I guess we're tied for 5th with a few teams. Not bad, but all right. Let's see if we can get our first playoff win of the rebuild. I would be a little disappointed if we lost to the Titans. They finally fired Brian Callahan. I don't know what took him so long. I have been saying for like a year that I think he was the worst head coach in the league. I don't really know why they fired Mike Vrabel, but whatever, sure. Things are at least looking up for him in this world here. And in real life, possibly. But all right, let's see if we can take him down here in the wild card. We lose 13-10. Our defense did its job, but we only put up 10 points. I thought if we lost, it would be like a 38-35 game or something like that. Or at least if we did, that's maybe what it should have been. But no, we lose 13-10. We still have 2 more seasons at least, but this has been tough. Kevin Byard retired. Why did I think that was Kyle Pitts? I think I have brain damage. But all right, for re-signings, we have the 5th year for Shamar Stewart. I don't think I'm gonna pick that up. Really hasn't done a lot for us. Has barely hit 10 career sacks total, and he's played a good amount, like probably about 800 snaps a year. I don't know. Chris Jenkins hasn't been great in real life, but he's developed here. Also, like, hasn't really been playing that well. We kind of replaced him. I'm good. Logan Wilson is 32. Jermaine Burton got star dev, but he isn't interested. The production he got was purely just the offensive playbook, doing the heavy lifting, even though he produced a lot. BJ Hill's been pretty good, but he's 32, and our defense has been bad. Damn, we're out here getting rejected for very player-friendly by long snappers. That's tough. But all right, let's get into free agency, and we're definitely gonna try to address the defense as much as we can. Let me see, is there anyone we can release? Not really. The only one I would maybe think about is like trading T. Higgins, like the Bengals probably should have done. I mean, T. Higgins is really good, but you don't pay 2 receivers. You just don't do that, at least as much as they paid him. I don't know, we might just keep him at this point because we don't really have a lot else we would spend this cap space on. It's kind of worked itself out here. Plus, I don't think any teams can afford T. Higgins other than the Jags, who don't really need a receiver at all because teams don't know how to manage cap space. But all right, let's see who's available in free agency. I don't even know what I want. Some defense is all I know. Okay, Micah Parsons is here. We really don't, I mean, I can't say we don't need him, but if anything should be good on our defense, it's our pass rush. I guess this year, though, he did have almost as many sacks as Bain and Hendrickson combined. I don't know, I can't justify 2 first-round picks and 2 massive contracts for edge rushers, even though that would help. You know, Trey Hendrickson's probably about to retire. I had the whole thing at the start of this rebuild, like, why are you doubling up on paying receivers and going so top-heavy with your contracts, where if they get hurt, it screws the team, and there's a good chance they get hurt, especially in Joe Burrow's case, because the O-line sucks, and he's had injury issues. I had that whole speech, but here we are, maybe about to sign Micah Parsons, our 2nd massive edge contract, but this is more of a future move, because we're probably not going to bring Hendrickson back after this year. We're probably not going to bring Shamar Stewart, Shamar Stewart. I get him mixed up with the other Texas A&M Stewart that there was. I don't know, whatever. And there really isn't anyone else here that I want. I guess maybe a running back, but I don't think any of these guys would do that well. So yeah, we'll see if we can sign Micah Parsons. I wouldn't complain. We do get him. This defense better be good. Please. Look at this pass rush. I don't know how it couldn't be a good defense, even with the worst playbook in Madden. I don't know. But all right, in the draft, we pick at number 20. And I'm thinking about investing even more into this defensive line. I don't know really what else to do. We need defensive tackle. It's actually a need this year. And there are some good ones. I mean, it's not hard to draft a defensive tackle in Madden. We could even try to wait till round 2 and get Zach Walsh, a first-round talent, or even wait really far down and get J.D. Davis. I mean, Dylan Edwards, first-round talent, projected UDFA. Okay, well, we're not going to take a defensive tackle round 1. Might go with Gerard Richards at corner, first-round talent. I focus scouted him. Who was my other focus scout? I don't remember. Oh, it was a receiver. I don't know why I did this because, yeah, he's a day 3 player. I don't know why I did that. Whatever. Who cares? That's what I figured he would be. So that was pointless. But let's get to our pick. We'll take the corner if he's here, probably. Okay, he is not here. Neither of them are. All right. Well, that makes it a little more interesting. Could go with a linebacker. I like Leslie and Castaneda. I wish he had an elite trait, though. That's the only thing. But I do like the A pursuit. And he's only 21. I don't know that he's the highest overall out of this group, but has some pretty good ratings. I would go Waters because I think he did have elite traits. Yeah, he has 2 of them, but not great in coverage and B to D pursuit. He still could be better just because he is more athletic. I don't know. We'll go Castaneda. We could maybe get him later, but linebackers go so early in Madden, so we'll take him. Not going to be worth the pick, but rank 30, I mean, that's not bad. Hidden Dev, we'll take that. I thought he would be like 48 or something. But all right, round 2. I really don't know what to do here. Is there still a decent receiver, maybe? No, not really. Decent tight end. Amari Batten, he's a bad blocker. We have enough linemen. We have like 7 decent ones. I might just start picking defensive tackles, even though we could probably wait until later. Although we could go with a DB. We do kind of need DB depth. Carvajal, or however you say that last name, looks pretty good. He looks better than Wheaton, but Wheaton is a year younger. But Carvajal looks better, so we'll take him. Rank 33, got him at 52. Normal dev, though. Damn it. Still a good pick. And all right, let's go Zach Walsh out of Notre Dame. Looks very, very good. Might just be like a later first-round talent, like 18 or something, but if he had B pursuit and B awareness, I would think top 10, but we'll see. Rank 11, okay. Very good pick. It's so easy to get defensive tackles in Madden for whatever reason. At least they're not as broken as they used to be. I think I'm going to take 3 of them. J.D. Davis looks pretty good, rank 25, and Dylan Edwards, first-round talent, rank 14. Only normal dev, but that's fine. We're investing heavily in this defense for obvious reasons. If it's not good, I might give up after this year. But of course, here's how we did in the draft. Obviously, all defense for the most part. I took 1 receiver. I just went with like the fastest one available. He's not very good, but I mean, he was worth the pick, I guess. He was ranked like 160 and we got him at like 180 something. I don't remember, something like that. But a lot of good defensive players. Went with 3 nose tackles. Maybe overreacted to a need, but I mean, we just went with the best players available pretty much. And we have a lot of good depth at defensive tackle now, so should be good there, I would hope. Now we have pretty good depth in the secondary, good depth at linebacker. Pretty good draft, I would say. Obviously didn't get a top 5 talent this year, but I mean, number 11, not too bad. I don't really know that we could have done much better with our needs, so we'll take it. But okay, here we are heading into year 4. We're up to an 86 overall. Still trying to get this team right. At least we've made the playoffs once. I do think things will go better for the Bengals in real life than they have here. Just, we can't find a defensive playbook that actually works. Eventually I'll find one, but even then I'll probably forget it in the next rebuild I do. Hopefully not. But yeah, we finally have a solid defense. It should develop a lot throughout the year with, you know, a really young safety, 2 superstar corners, a really young D-line. Romaine was superstar dev, still only like 23 or something. Yeah, 23. So we should be good this year. The only thing that I'm concerned about is it is 2028, the cursed season. So who knows? Again, we should be good, but will we be? I don't know. I'm guessing we're going to be underperforming at the mid-season. That's usually what happens, but hopefully we can bounce back by the end of the season. We'll see. I feel like I say we'll see every 3 minutes in a rebuild, something like that. Don't know why I say it so much, but I do. I guess that's really all you can do with good old Madden simulation. Just have to hope for the best. But all right, finally, we are 6-1 at the mid-season of year 4. We are very good, as we should be. We have the 6th best offense in the league and the 2nd for points per game allowed. We're only allowing 15.1 points per game, and that's only second? Who's first? It's the Raiders, I guess. It doesn't show their record anymore right under team name, so I don't actually know if it's the Raiders that are better than us or the Dolphins. I'm gonna assume it's the Dolphins, actually, because 82 would be kind of crazy through 7 games. But yeah, Joe Burrow's doing well. Taj Brooks is actually doing well. Jamar Chase already has 900 yards and 9 touchdowns. We're also starting Nick Harbor this year. I think his name's spelled wrong. I'm just gonna assume it doesn't let you spell Nick with a Y. I don't know why it wouldn't, but it was just like that when I downloaded this roster. Does it let you? I guess it does. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, the blocking's all right. Dylan Fairchild isn't doing great, but whatever. Might bench him. Trey Hendrickson is actually leading the team in sacks. Micah Parsons is only 3rd, and we only have 1 pick on the year? Okay. Overall, the defense is doing well. The numbers are weird. I guess the sack numbers are really good. Maybe they're just sacking the QB so fast that they can't even throw the ball. Let's hope that's the case. That's why we're not getting any picks. But for re-signings this year, we have T. Higgins, Shamar Stewart, we probably won't bring back. But, I mean, we could as a 3rd edge. He's not that expensive. We'll see. Kyer Elam, we'll see. Amarius Mims, we'll see. Dylan Fairchild, probably not with how he's doing this year, but, I mean, he's been pretty good in the past, so we might have to. Demetrius Knight, probably not. Trey Hendrickson is probably going to well, we'll see. Kind of more re-signings than I expected at this point in the rebuild, honestly. We'll start with T. Higgins, though. We'll do the same thing the Bengals did to get themselves into this situation. We're not going to pay him nearly as much as the Bengals did, which is kind of weird, but 3 years, 66, that's more than fine. Shamar Stewart, sure, let's pay 3 edge rushers. I guess we're not paying Ruben Bain that much yet, but, I mean, he was the #1 overall pick, so that's not a super cheap contract. But whatever, we'll pay Shamar Stewart. Might even pay 4 if we bring Hendrickson back. But Mims has allowed 0 sacks this year in the Bengals offensive playbook. That's insane. I'll try 5 years, 123. He doesn't take it. He might be a tag candidate. And then I don't know if we have enough cap space for Fairchild. Okay, he doesn't resign. But all right, let's hope we can keep this up. Let's get to the end of the year. And can we maybe get our first round bye of the rebuild? We'll see. Okay, finally, in year 4, we have the season we have deserved to have for at least a couple years now. We go 14-3 and get a first-round bye. Joe Burrow, 5,400 yards, 42 touchdowns, 8 picks. Very good. Possibly 3rd MVP in a row. Taj Brooks finally hit 4 yards per carry in a season. The year I set running back as our draft 3-star focus position. Almost 2,000 yards for Jamar Chase. Only 3 away. 21 touchdowns, should win his 3rd Offensive Player of the Year in a row. The Bengals playbook isn't broken at all. T. Higgins at 2, with 1,300 yards, I meant to say. Both had 113 catches. Nick Harbor even 900 yards. And let's see, Jimmy Roman wasn't great at center, but the rest of the line, Caden Green wasn't great. I might put Fairchild back in. And then Austin Romaine, 149 tackles, led the team. 19 TFLs for Parsons, led the team. And sacks, 21.5 for Parsons. 20 for Hendrickson, 12.5 for Bain, 7.5 for Stewart. Insane. But picks, only 4 total. 2 for Taylor Brait and 1 for Castaneda and Elam. Not great. But Joe Burrow wins his 3rd MVP in a row. Jamar Chase wins his 3rd Offensive Player of the Year in a row. Burrow at 4, Higgins at 9. Micah Parsons wins Defensive Player of the Year, Hendrickson at 3. And Castaneda wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. So we won 4 out of the 5 big awards, at least for the AFC, or 3 out of the 4 that are just for the AFC and MVP. So yeah, we're doing pretty good. Ooh, Castaneda already has Superstar Dev. Might have just had that. I don't know if he would have gained it yet, at least. Probably not. So our linebackers are going to be really good. But all right, let's see who we are going to be taking on in the divisional. This is already going to be the furthest we have gone in the playoffs so far, which is a little bit sad, but we are going to be taking on the Chargers at 10-7. Only an 84 overall team. Where do we rank at an 89? Are we the highest overall team? The Cardinals are also an 89, so we're tied for the lead with them. But we finally have a good defense, so we should be able to beat the Chargers here. Let's see what happens. We do, 38-26. We finally get a playoff win. It took until year 4, but better late than never. But we are going to be taking on the Titans, the team that took us out of the playoffs last year. Looks like they have Omari No, those are just the Chargers players. Okay, love this game. What are the Titans looking like now? Still Cam Ward, Rashee Rice, Jeffrey Simmons, Alec Iomanner is really developed. Oh yeah, they drafted Tony Edmond. Also have Xavier Worthy. They just have the Chiefs receiving core, kinda. Pretty good team, but I mean, ours is still 3 overall better. So let's see, can we move on to the Super Bowl in year 4? Or are the Titans gonna send us home again? Okay, we flatten the Titans 45-17, as we should. I don't know if it should have been that bad of a beating, but I mean, we had 4 more wins than them, 3 overall on them. We were the home team. I feel like that's valid. And it looks like we are gonna be taking on my favorite team, the Seattle Seahawks, in the Super Bowl. I see them in the Super Bowl a lot in Madden 26. Not as much as like the Packers I see in the Super Bowl a lot, the Giants I see in the Super Bowl a lot, the Colts I feel like I see in the Super Bowl a lot, but the Seahawks are up there. Still with Sam Darnold here, of course, JSN, Kenneth Walker, Byron Murphy, Devin Witherspoon. Mostly still just looks like the Seahawks other than Landon Jackson, Zach Bond, Jonathan Brooks, I guess. Pretty good team, but like the Titans, we are 3 overall higher than them. They're an 86, and they're also 10-7, but we'll jump in and watch this simulate. Can we win a Super Bowl in year 4, or are we gonna have to rely on year 5? I mean, we'll go to a year 5 either way, but let's hope we can get it done here. So here we go in the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay, as always, or at least I think that's where is this not Tampa? Maybe this isn't. Maybe I lied. I don't know where we are. No, it is Tampa. Okay, never mind. But let's jump to the end of this game, and we will see if we can win the Bengals their first ever Super Bowl. We do score first, making it 7-0. We're driving again, and we make it 14-0. Our defense is holding up. Only allowed 3 points, making it 17-3. Our offense needs to pick it back up, though. It is 17-10. They're driving, and they tie it in the fourth quarter. We do kick a field goal to make it 20-17, and that is gonna do it. That ended up being a scary game, but we do take down Sam Darnold and the Seahawks, and we get a Super Bowl as the Bengals. After struggling for a few years, I didn't know if we could get here. Kind of surprisingly, looks like paying 4 edge rushers was kind of a good idea. But all right back into trying to make this team even better for re-signings. I mean, we'll pick up the 5th year for Ruben Bain. That doesn't really matter. We're not going to get to that point anyway, but sure. Kyer Elam, he's kind of been one of the few players to actually get picks with our new defensive playbooks. We'll see, though. I don't know who we can afford, because I definitely want Amarius Mims back. It looks like he won Best O-Lineman. He did. The rare time an actual starting offensive lineman wins Best O-Lineman in Madden. He allowed 2 sacks as the right tackle in the Bengals offensive playbook. This might be the single best O-Lineman season I have ever seen in Madden. This is like somehow allowing negative sacks in real life. Like, your quarterback's gonna get sacked and it's a different lineman's fault, and then you rip the defensive player off your quarterback, something like that. I don't know. Insane season. Unfortunately, I don't think we can afford Trey Hendrickson. I mean, we'll restructure all of our deals, because I mean, why not? We'll see how much money we end up with. Might be a pretty good amount, to be fair. I don't know how we've made this work so well, because we've kind of done the exact same thing the Bengals have done in real life. Not only have we kept the 4 players that the Bengals are paying a ton of money, we've started paying even more, so it's worked out somehow. Well, I guess the difference is we've actually drafted good players, unlike the Bengals, so that'll do it. But all right, we're now up to almost 80 mil in cap space. We'll definitely go very player-friendly for Amarius Mims. 5 years, 153. He does take it. Good. Dylan Fairchild, I kind of want to keep. He's been pretty good. I'll go player friendly, 3 years, 69. He doesn't take it. I don't think the tag for a left guard would be too much, maybe like 18 mil. Ooh, 24. I mean, that isn't that much more than we were offering him. We'll see. Trey Hendrickson, I think we can let go. We'll just let Bain step into that role. Taj Brooks, I kind of want to keep. We'll go 3 years, 15. So we'll let a few players go, at least for now. We could bring, a couple of these players back in free agency. We'll just have to see. And let's even restructure Amarius Mims, because why not? That saves 9 mil. Glad I remembered to do that. But in free agency, still not super great. There are some decent overall running backs. Do they actually play well? Kinda. Oh, Isaiah Pacheco. Okay, really good yards per carry this year. Not great last year. Oh, he had a lot longer of a run this year than last year, that's why. Jordan James, I'm a big fan of him in real life, but hasn't really done a lot here. We'll just stick with, why can't I remember his name? Taj Brooks. I was wanting to say Tyjae Spears. I don't know why. But all right, here's what we are gonna do in our final free agent class. We're gonna go for Trey Hendrickson. We really could only afford, I just realized we're only going for re-signings, but we could only afford team friendly, and I had to lower the money a little bit, but it's still a better offer than the Raiders, so we'll see as long as no other teams go for him. I don't know if he'll have too much interest because he is 34, but we'll see. And then Dylan Fairchild we'll try to keep. He has no other offers, and Kyer Elam were easily the best offer for him, so we'll see. Okay, we do get Elam, but it looks like the Raiders made a better offer for Hendrickson, so we might not get him. There were other good pass rushers though, but like we don't even need one at all. So I don't know what the point is. I just want to sign someone. I just don't know who to sign. I guess we could go for like Isaiah Likely, but he's not that much of an upgrade. We could go for, I don't know. I thought about Chris Jones, but he's too expensive. How does Aleem McNeil do? Pretty good. He had a really good year in 2026. Sure, we'll go for him. Why not? Okay, we do get him. Still waiting on Dylan Fairchild. He has a few small offers now. We should be able to get him, I hope. Still hasn't signed, but the other team's backed out, so that means he's probably going to sign right now. He does. So pretty good free agent class. We still have the draft coming up, so we'll see what we can even do with this team through the draft. We're pretty good. Maybe a corner? I don't even know. I would trade the pick for a player, but I mean, we're out of cap space now, so can't really do that. But all right, in the draft, our final draft of the rebuild, we of course pick at 32. Don't know what I'm gonna do here, but I did focus scout some corners. I kind of doubt they'll still be available by the time we pick, but ooh, Christian Geathers is a top 5 talent. Might need to trade up for him if he's still there by like 25 or something. Do I really feel like going one by one all the way to 25? I don't know. Oh, my job is so hard. Let me see which corners are still available by 18 or whatever, 19. Ooh, there is only one more before Geathers. Okay, we'll trade up with the Colts. Okay, we'll give them our 2nd round pick. We'll get a 4th back, and we'll move from 32 to 23. And of course, let's go with Christian Geathers out of Georgia Tech. Looks like he was hurt for his combine and his pro day. I wouldn't guess that he's a top 5 talent necessarily. Maybe he's like 5 out of 5, but I mean, a top 5 talent is a top 5 talent. Number 4, this might just be a really weak draft class, I'm not gonna lie, because only 89 speed. Okay, but all right, end of the 3rd round. Is there anyone decent left still? Not really. I guess we'll take Darren Newsome out of Cal. 1st to 2nd round talent receiving back, sure. Rank 46, got him at 96. We'll take it. But here's how we did in our final draft. Geathers, I mean, I was kind of right. He's only a 77 as the 4th ranked player in the class. That's kind of crazy. I guess he's tied with a lot of other 77 overalls. Ooh, Gillespie, top 5 player in the class at only 20 years old. I mean, we definitely don't need a receiver, but that's interesting. And the game crashed again. A couple of the players were 74s. I don't feel like opening this back up. It probably wasn't that important of a draft, but we got a pretty good corner, so we'll take it. Ooh, okay. You know, Chris Jones is available in free agency. He didn't get signed. We have a little bit of cap space now. How we feeling? I would say this feels like cheating, but I mean, nobody signed him, so that's a pretty easy decision. I'm also almost thinking about Chuba Hubbard, because I don't fully trust Taj Brooks. Sure, why not? I feel like we just got a lot better for free, basically. I mean, not free, but just with scraps, kinda. We'll take it. But all right, here is a look at the team heading into the final year. We're up to an 89 overall. I'm surprised we didn't go up even more after signing Chris Jones and Chuba Hubbard, but whatever, we're still looking really good. We have a lot of X factors on defense now, 4 of them. Couple on offense too, obviously. This still definitely looks like the Bengals. We still, you know, I guess not so much the defense. We only have 3 real Bengals players left, but the offense, we at least have a few more. But we've definitely improved the Bengals' weaknesses. Hopefully the O-line still plays well this year. Hopefully Amarius Mims can play almost close to as well as he did last year. I guess that's a lot to ask, but hopefully. Also, hold on. I don't know why my recording keeps going off center randomly. I never notice when it does it, because it does it when I'm like halfway through videos, but sorry if you noticed that. But yeah, we're looking good. Already got a Super Bowl win, so let's see if we can go back to back. All right, once again, we go 15-2 and get a 1st round bye. I guess we went 14-3 last year, but we get a 1st round bye once again. And we had the best best offense and best defense in the league. It says we were 30th for run D. I don't necessarily believe that. I think it just shows the 30th from where it shows offensive rush yards per game. It just doubles it up for some reason. I don't know why. But Joe Burrow might win his 4th MVP in a row. 5,400 yards, 43 touchdowns, 4 picks. Chuba Hubbard was really good for the few carries he got. Almost 900 yards, 4.8 per carry, 17 touchdowns. Glad we signed him. 1,800 yards and 23 touchdowns for Jamar Chase. Probably 4th offensive player of the year in a row. Or 5th even? 4th? Something like that. T. Higgins too. No, why do I keep doing that? I think it's because I'm saying offensive player of the year and it gets my brain in the mode of like, we're listing off offensive player of the year. I don't know. But T. Higgins, 1,200 yards. Nick Harbor, 1,000 yards. 3 1,000-yard receivers. Joshua Braun wasn't great, but the rest of the line was pretty good. I benched Jones at the midseason for Roman. He did better. Columbus wasn't great at right guard, but it is what it is. And then Romaine, 135 tackles led the team. 16 TFLs for Parsons and Jones. Sacks, 16 for Chris Jones and Ruben Bain. 11.5 for Parsons. I mean, that's kind of low for him. 8.5 for McNeil. And picks, 3 for Geathers as a rookie. 2 for Reisner, and then 1 for 4 different players. But all right, Joe Burrow obviously wins another MVP. Jamar Chase wins another offensive player of the year. Chris Jones, 4 for defensive player of the year. Ruben Bain, 5. And Christian Geathers all the way down at 4 for defensive rookie of the year. Kind of surprising, but not really because Madden hates corners. But we are up to a 92 overall. Where does that rank? Okay, the Cardinals are a 90 somehow, but we're pretty far and away better than any other roster in the league. The Cardinals are the closest and still 2 overall below us, so we've built a pretty good team here. But let's see who we are going to be taking on in the first game of our final playoff run. It is going to be the 10-7 Buffalo Bills. I think we have only faced 10-7 teams in the playoffs for this entire rebuild. I don't remember what the Seahawks record was in the Super Bowl, but I kind of feel like it was 10-7. Maybe it wasn't, but I kind of feel like it was. Go figure. It's better than 9-8 teams, at least. That's usually who shows up. But can we beat the Bills and move on to the conference championship? We can. 42-28. Beat them by double digits, 2 scores. Now we're going to be taking on the Jags. I think finally our first non-10-7 playoff opponent. Their offense really was not great this year. 28th. Their defense was good, but that's it. Can we make back-to-back Super Bowls? We can. 27-10 over the Jaguars. And we are going to be facing another NFC West team in the Super Bowl here. The 10-7 but 90 overall Arizona Cardinals, the second best roster in the league. Of course, with Mekhi Lemon, they also signed Brian Branch. Kyler Murray's been really good here, which is kind of surprising because I feel like he always sucks when I have him in Madden. They signed Jordan James. Walter Nolan has developed. Pretty good roster. Not quite as good as ours, but pretty close. But we will, of course, watch this game simulate. Can we finish it out with a second Super Bowl win? Even if we lose, we already got 1, but 2 would be even better. So here we go in the Super Bowl against the Arizona Cardinals. Looks like in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, or wherever the Viking Stadium is. I don't know. Let's jump to the end of the game. So far, no score through the first quarter. The Cardinals do finally score, but don't get the extra point. We take the lead 7-6, 6-7, I guess. We are now up 21-6 though. Now 24. We are running away with this thing. Now let's not have a repeat of last year where we decided to choke it. Okay, good. Less scary than last year. We win 31-20 in the Super Bowl, beating Kyler Murray. Don't know why he looked so red there. That was weird. Maybe turn it into an actual Cardinal or something. I don't know. But we win back-to-back Super Bowls with the Bengals. You'll love to see it. Subscribe if you enjoyed.